Will we crown a new NBA champion? We should find out. It's possible that it may happen tonight. Get ready. Here we go. Sports Brothers Podcast. Good morning, everyone. Today is July 20th, 2021. You are in the Sports Brothers Podcast. He is Zach. I'm Mr. 411. What's going on, Zach?
Nothing too much, man. How are you doing this wonderful morning?
Man, I'm glad to be here, man.
That is good. You do anything interesting this weekend?
Let's see, this week here, cookout, watch the Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
You don't say you watched the game, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Hey, man, that's part of the exciting weekend. And then what a great weekend of professional wrestling with the fans back. So you had Friday Night SmackDown, some great matches. Money in the Bank pay-per-view. What a great pay-per-view that was.
I will take your word for it.
Yeah. The return of your boy, John Cena. Amazing, man. It was great. But yo, how about yourself, man?
Nothing too much. Rest, relax. As you said, I also watched the game. Help my aunt and uncle, as always, with technical stuff that it seems they buy all this technology and don't know how to use it. And not much else other than that.
Well, cool, man.
So it was an easy weekend this weekend. No basketball, letting the hamstring get better. So I'm good.
Good. You had some load management. Good for you.
Something like that.
Learning from Kawhi. Gotcha.
Hey, I need to really learn from him. He sits out and he has all these serious injuries. So yeah, they say one thing and it's like, nope, way more serious. So yeah, doing the Kawhi thing.
That's right. Well, look, we welcome you all to the show. We are here on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 7 a.m. And we're going to get to it, Zach. Let's start off by the game that we both stated that we watched on Saturday, which was Game 5, the pivotal Game 5 matchup between the Bucks and the Suns, where the Bucks pulled off a close victory. What's some of your thoughts from Game 5?
Well, I know everybody's going to be surprised, and they're going to look at like that these Suns are doing something or letting this slip away or what have you. But coming into the season, nobody expected the Suns to be in the NBA Finals, and I would say many people expected the Milwaukee Bucks to challenge for the championship just because of the trajectory that they've been on. So this is kind of going on these adage that people love to say that you have to have been there to do it or whatever. I don't necessarily believe that, but the heartbreak or whatever they tell you that they want you to have in the playoffs before you can just go win. This is kind of sort of, I guess, following that path right now. I thought the Suns played pretty good. Like, I don't think you can say they played terrible. You got a decent game out of Aiden, solid game out of Chris Paul, solid game out of Booker. Your other guys, I mean, look, everybody gonna play perfect. When you get them perfect nights, that's when you're gonna, score 130, score 140, beat a team by 20 or something. This is realistic. You had two of the better teams in the NBA. So I think they played as to be expected. And for me, the Bucks are just better. Like people say team, whenever everybody says team, oh, they got a better team, they got a better team. All you're really saying is like both of them have teams. If you're going off the definition of the team or the word team, the Suns just had been as a group maximizing what they could do as a group instead of maximizing the individual talents. Now they're kind of leaning more on the individual talents instead of that of the group. Whereas we talked about it, Drew Holiday. I said Drew Holiday in these last 3 games needed to give you one complete game. and he finally gave you one complete game. And what has become apparent to me, and we talked about this off camera, like Drew Holiday 6'3", 205. Chris Paul is in that like 175, 180 range. He is physically manhandling Chris Paul when he posts up or does some things like that. Chris Paul is supposed to be an elite defender, and he has been. He's having a difficult time with that when it comes to Drew Holiday. Middleton, if Middleton just plays average, like instead of gives you these peaks and valleys, just gives you a average Middleton game, it's good. And Giannis once again is proving he is I'd say top 2 player in the world. And if he gets this title, if he gets the title and he can mess around and get Finals MVP, which I believe he's on path for now. To me, he's in that Kobe Bryant area. If you think Kobe Bryant is a top 10 player all time, then Giannis is going to be in that area because his credentials are going to match very favorably to Kobe minus the championships. So he's getting. I know people say, "Well, how can it be fair?" Those first 3 championships, Shaq was kind of the guy carrying the water, but I'd say Kobe's last run was really a Kobe-centric team. He went to 3 finals back to back. Now, can Giannis do that? I wouldn't bet money on it, but he would be in that area, and he definitely would be if he wins it. This gets that is going to be the second best power forward all time. It wouldn't even be any debate about that. Like as far as his ranking based on his accomplishments. So people are going to look at this longevity of the other guy. Don't look at longevity. Look at the hardware that the guy has. His hardware puts him in that area, and you can't argue about hardware. You can argue about length of time, but then that's the Craig Biggio argument. If you don't know baseball, Craig Biggio was a really, really good baseball player for a long period of time. And you do anything long enough, you're going to collect stats. But not surprised. The Bucks are the better team, and we can get more into it. And no shame to the Suns. They just it just kind of, this is how it's running its course right now. Maybe no different than Miami last year with the Lakers. And what do you think for yourself?
Well, for Game 5, what I noticed in Game 5 was that it was the Drew Holiday effect, and what I mean by that is Drew Holiday. You mentioned it earlier about him using his strength advantage over Chris Paul, but also he used that strength advantage on Booker too, because there was a stretch of the game where Booker was on fire, and they ended up switching Holiday off of Paul and putting him on Booker to kind of put that fire out a little bit. And then one more layer to this is that Holiday also, when he got caught on switches, when they ran pick and roll, the high pick and roll, what they call a Spain pick and roll, which is like that's what the Spaniards use in international play.
Thank you for educating me.
They will set this high screen way beyond the 3-point line that creates that space. But when there was times where Ayton would roll and Holiday would get caught, but Holiday would use his leverage, if you will, to kind of keep Ayton from getting deep posts, getting set up deep into the post. So, and then the Suns wouldn't even try to go to Ayton at that point. And so he really was a disruptor on the defensive end. And also at the key point of the game where Giannis missed the free throw late in the game, if we go back and look at that, guess who the player was that went in and tapped the ball up high for then eventually Middleton to eventually recover that rebound, because they didn't want Giannis to have it again. But that was Holiday. He came in from outside the 3-point arc, dove in, tapped the ball up. So Holiday just had his fingerprints all over this matchup, and he definitely was the player that really caught my attention for Game 5. But we can jump to Game 6, man, and you can give some of your thoughts, and I will too. But you give some of your thoughts on Game 6, man, because this could be the last game of the NBA season.
Well, I'm gonna be matter of fact. This is gonna be the last game of the season. It's over with. The Bucks are better than the Suns. Now, much of this is just what will the Bucks do, but I'm going to have a belief that they show up tonight. They understand the moment, and they do what they are supposed to do. but this will be the last game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks won by 15 plus points. I don't think they're going to change the philosophy on Giannis as far as how they are going to guard him. I think they will still try to stay straight up with him. But if they decide tonight that they're not going to stay straight up, I think the Bucks have a 3-point barrage, and it's over with. Like it seems the Middleton and Drew Holiday have gotten their head out of their fourth point of contact, and I expect the Bucks to win tonight. If the Suns do get it to go back to Phoenix, I would be very shocked. They just, as I said, it's no shame against them. The Bucks have one All NBA player, first team, whereas the Suns have a second team All NBA player. So their best player is not nearly as good as the Bucks' best player. The Bucks have two first team All NBA defensive players in Holiday and Giannis. Yeah, that's showing up in the past two games of guys that made key plays. So I'll say once again, this is not going to be any shame to the Suns. They have they've overachieved this year. I don't think anybody would have had that. Some people may say circumstances, but it ends tonight, and then we'll start having debates about where Giannis ranks all time.
All right. Well, tonight I'm looking forward to seeing the adjustments that, and if they don't win, it'll be their final adjustments. But got to see something that happens with the Suns tonight. They're going to have to solve the Holiday defensive issue. I think that they may need to set some double screens or something along those lines. They got to figure a way to spring loose Paul. And where are the guys that that can hit the corner threes? That was something that was very important, very key to the Suns' success in the playoffs, hitting those corner jumpers, 3-point shots, which opens up a lot more for them. That has really disappeared. We talked about it early in the series. You remember on one of our post-game shows, we talked about the 27 points that Bridges put up.
Yes.
And how surprised we was at that. But we need, when I say we, I'm referring to the Suns, but the Suns need to see, they need somebody to come out with a game like that. We know Booker is going to score, and we know Paul is going to be solid, but they need that third player tonight. And in particular, in my opinion, it needs to be someone that's hitting the three ball.
But when you say third player, they already have three players doing stuff.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying, they need another guy that can give those unaccounted for points, like when Bridges had the 27. You don't go in and look for Bridges to have 27, but you need that to unlock things right now, because right now defensively the Bucks have figured it out, and as we notice, we don't see Lopez that much, and moving Giannis to center and pretty much playing him there for the majority of the game has really changed things. So
yes, Coach Bud figured out that Lopez out there in pick and roll against Booker and Chris Paul wasn't a good idea.
It wasn't a good idea at all.
So I'm glad an NBA head coach could figure that out after 2 games.
Yeah.
Or 3 games.
Yeah, very good by him, because he may get a ring. He may get a ring out of it, but
I still say fire his ass.
Well, we'll see what they do in offseason, but that adjustment really saved him. And by the way, we'll talk about it later because we got to get into our X factors coming up in a moment. But we can roll over to CP3 and let's discuss what version of Chris Paul we're going to see tonight.
I mean, we're going to see the 36-year-old guy that's been playing basketball. I mean, like, it is great. Chris Paul is a great player, and it's great what he's done. He's 36. Basketball is not an old man's game. It's a young man's game. Even LeBron showed wear and tear and didn't operate at the level that people would normally expect him to operate at. So I won't be shocked if Chris Paul gives you 20. At this point, the way Drew Holiday has been guarding him, or the way the Bucks have been guarding him, I'm going to go he's going to be in that 20 to 25 range and get 8 to maybe even 12 assists. So he can probably have a good game tonight. But how much impact will that good game have on everyone else? I guess that could be where you're talking about he's going to get some other individuals involved for some timely shots. But I'd say he's going to be who we've seen. And I have to say this about Chris Paul. It is something about him that he needs to get worked out, and it's probably a little late. This inner rage or whatever it is, overthinking or what have you. But that was a really dumb play of him fouling on the dunk by Giannis. Like and people aren't saying enough. That's a dumb play. It was absolutely going to do nothing for your team. He gets the dunk. You're only up 3. And I think it was 12 seconds left or something of that nature. Even with that, you're still in the game because you would have been able to take a 3, take a 2, play the foul game or what have you. And this isn't the first time Chris Paul has made a something that like this. Is you're like, what is he looking at? And this would be, what do they say? Scoreboard and time scoreboard. And maybe he wasn't looking at that. So he is hell. You might want to throw him in as an X factor. I expect him, but I do expect if this is going to be the possible last game, that he will try to do that Kobe Bryant thing or Michael Jordan thing, or he's going to go out shooting and everybody will feel great about it because he's being aggressive and everything instead of just playing the right way. So he'll do that and he'll lose tonight. And then we'll be having how he's not in the top 5 all time anymore after he got all this love just 2 weeks ago.
Well, the Chris Paul I'm going to see, I plan on seeing tonight is basically the Chris Paul we've seen all series. He's been very good. I think that what he will do is he will continue to. Well, one thing he will definitely not do tonight is make a ton of turnovers. And in his last game, it went without said, but he only had 1 turnover in game 5. So he did a great job there because that's what he's usually good at, the assisted turnovers. The previous couple of games, he was just horrible with the turnovers. So he's going to manage the game tonight. I think he's going to lead by example tonight. And like you said, I think he's going to try to get some other people involved. I think Chris Paul will have an excellent game. And at that point, it's just really going to come down to, are the Suns going to have that additional player to put the ball in the basket? Don't sleep on them at this point, because remember the games were against the Clippers where Chris Paul really closed the deal. He's going to have that type of game where he's having a great mix of the scoring and the assist game. And I think his mid-range shot, because one thing I am noticing is with the Bucks, you can get the mid-range shot. And so that's going to have to really be something that he initiates early in the game and set the tone that way. But we'll see a good Chris Paul tonight.
Did you make a pick for the game tonight?
Well, it's not time yet. It's coming.
Oh, I didn't see that we had to. My bad. Producers didn't tell me that. Got it.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. But we'll see a solid Chris Paul tonight. This is a huge game, man.
It's the biggest game of his career. It's the biggest game. In fact, we're going to go everybody out there that does not have a championship. It's the biggest game of their career tonight.
Oh yeah.
Until either game 7 or what have you. This is the biggest game until, or to be continued.
That's right. So what's some of the X factors?
I'm going to go easy with me. My X factor is going to be Chris Middleton, because he seems to be the barometer for what you use to measure the Bucks and how they're going to be able to play. If Middleton plays well tonight, the Bucks win, because Giannis is going to play well. I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis gave you 40, but they probably don't need Giannis to give you 40. They probably need him to be closer to 30, and they need Middleton to be closer to 30 or even the mid 30. So he is my X factor. Like, forget all these other guys. I ain't worried about Pat Connaughton. What Pat Connaughton, or whoever it is. Because like for me to go out there, I get what you're saying about the Suns, but for me to expect Connaughton to go out there and score 20 points, like I'm not doing that. Tucker could have a good game, but why would I expect him to have a good game? Bobby Porter, same thing. Like it kind of like what you're throwing in there. Like it goes without saying, if a guy like that has a good game, then you what do you say? You cooking with hot grease or cooking with fish grease or whatever it is. So I'm going with there you go. I'm going with Middleton. If Middleton plays the way that you expect a guy that should be an X factor, the way that a guy should be a kind of borderline all-star should play, then not only do the Bucks win tonight, as I keep re-emphasizing, but this may be putting him possibly on that Pippen path of now you got a guy that is going to be a perennial all-star, third team type all NBA guy and get himself into the Hall of Fame, which would be good for him. So that is my guy for tonight that I'll be watching.
Okay.
I would tell you Drew Holiday, but he's had one good game maybe in the past 2 weeks. So no.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you mentioned Drew Holiday, but that's the X factor for me tonight again, because like Drew Holiday, I mean, he's on the defensive end. I mean, it goes without saying. Fine. Yeah, it goes without saying on the defensive end. He is really locked in. And as you know, as I stated earlier, he's picking up on the big three for the Suns. He's doing his job on all three of them when he has that chance. But offensively, take a look at Holiday. If he's making jump shots, and if he's making those mid-range jump shots, the Bucks will win tonight because the way that the Suns run their coverages, they're Ayton. He drops because he's the only one that can really defend the paint. So he'll drop his coverage, which opens up that mid-range shot. And if Holiday is coming off a screen, he's got to make that. And so if he's making that shot, but then he's also playing the defense on the other end, then it's going to be trouble. So take a look at that tonight and see what Holiday is doing, and that'll really give you a huge barometer on how this game is going to end.
Well, that'll be that goes without saying, because for me, I've put Holiday in that, as you said, about Bridges category. I mean, he's played and his defense has been phenomenal. We don't usually emphasize defense. So I guess if we were going to talk about defense this whole series, then yes, he has showed up in that part. But you don't just expect defense from him. You expect the whole package. So for me, he's been in that Bridges category. Like I haven't put him as a guy that you can consistently count on. So if he does that, then you're absolutely right. But I kind of, as I said, I put him over in that other side. He's not someone like Chris Paul, Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and we're going to go even Giannis, of course. I expect their production to kind of be what it's going to be. Middleton is, as I was saying, the guy that look like he falls in and out. But anything that you get, like any type of good game you get from Drew Holiday tonight would be it should be unexpected because he hasn't played well until the last game.
Yeah, we'd like to say good morning to
Corey. Morning, Cal. You with us a little late today, but good morning. I hope the couch slept well last night.
It's always good to have Corey in the building.
It most definitely is.
Yeah. Well, look, maybe we can get Corey's prediction. We'd like for him to post his prediction because after this cheap commercial break here, we're going to come back with our prediction. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you should know by now, but on Tuesday and Thursday morning, 7 a.m., we are live. Tuesday and Thursday mornings.
5 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah, 5 a.m. Mountain, right?
Just in case you're over on this side, you want to wake up and hear us.
That's right. There you go. But yes, 7 a.m. Eastern, 5 Mountain. But
Thank you.
And what is that, 4 Pacific?
4 Pacific.
Yeah, so there we go. And we'll figure out what it is
6
in Hawaii.
p.m. Central.
What is it in Hawaii, bro?
We'll get you Hawaii people next time. Sorry.
Yeah, but yes, find us on YouTube, Twitter. We're out there. We're doing the best we can, man. We want to bring a different angle to sports talk, more of a, you know, non, if you will, hot take type of deal. We want to give you what our true thoughts are,
Well,
what
I'm
our
sure
true
somebody's
analysis
gonna have
are.
a problem with me saying Giannis will be in that Kobe class, but as I said, just look at the awards. Don't look
Yeah,
at all the how long a guy played, and All Star appearances are overrated. Look at All NBA.
yeah. But yes, man. Let's see what else Corey had to say.
I bet that made you. I know you were driving, Cal. I'm just playing. I am just playing.
Yeah, man. So
I
let's get.
I am certain you are an excellent husband, just like you're an excellent man. I know you're not sleeping on the couch. That would have been me, just playing with you.
You're gonna have Cal. You're gonna have Cal show up in the studio, man.
Hey, that'd be cool. I'd love to see Cal again. Look, hey, him beating up on me won't be any different than back in the day, so it'll be good.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right, let's get ready for it, man. It's almost time. It's time to get into our predictions. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. We're going to put it on out there. Zach, I have a strong idea what direction you're going.
You don't
But
even need
before
to
we
ask
do,
mine. The Bucks.
well,
The Bucks
before
win tonight by,
well, Zach,
and I'm
Zach,
going. They win by 12
you
plus.
need to use a little drama here for a second.
Oh my god!
All right. So we have the Bucks. We have the Bucks in 6,
Thank you, producers, for giving us
the
this.
the Suns in 7, or the Bucks in 7. So now you can go ahead and lay out what your prediction is, Zach.
OG Bucks in 6. Now
All
you
right.
can give us your prediction.
My prediction is Suns in 7. So that means tonight the Suns figure it out and they get a victory tonight. And right now it's looking very bleak, but you know,
Oh no!
things
Hold on,
change
Mister
in the NBA.
411. Hold
Things
on, Mister
change in the NBA.
411. Hold on, because I'm gonna pull your number. I want some analysis with that because you're saying not only do the Suns win tonight, they win 7. So what happens tonight that hasn't been happening for the Suns that is going to get them to get the victory tonight? Like, how is this playing out? Booker scores 50. DeAndre Ayton has 4. Like, what happens tonight that hasn't been happening in your mind?
Well, what's going to happen is that they're going to score. They're going to put more points in the more points on the scoreboard tonight. No, seriously, this is what they're going to do. They're going to make their shots tonight, and someone's going to step
As a
up from the
team,
3. Yes,
as a
someone's going to
team,
step
you
up. I
believe
mean,
in
because
Milwaukee. So the role
yes, they're going to
players,
get
you
it.
think are going to have a good game tonight?
They're going to have a good game, but they're also going to, as a team, they're going to step up and they're going to get this done because Booker is getting his points. So they have one player that they can definitely get buckets from, and that's Booker. He's really been on fire the last couple of games. Chris Paul had a great game in my opinion with the 21 points and the 11 assists and the 1 turnover. They just need that one other perimeter player to make some shots, and that will be enough because this last game was very close, right? It was nip and tuck, and
Yes, but they were at
that's how
home.
they were at home. But the court, the goal, all that stuff is the same. It's the same dimensions. You just got to do it in a different arena. And the Suns have one games on the road as well. So and again, this is not one of those series where it's one team that's tremendously better than the other. It's not that. So I know it looks bleak now, and a lot of people will be saying that the Bucks are going to close it out tonight, and they deservedly so. But the Suns are here for a reason too, and they had one of the best records in the league this season.
So do you believe Giannis plays bad tonight,
I do
or
not.
average, or
I think
below average?
no. I think Giannis is going to play like he's been playing.
So is
His
Middleton
main,
going to play bad?
he's going to be solid.
Drew Holiday, your X
He,
factor, going to play bad?
he's going to be solid.
So,
It's
so,
it's going to
so
be it. But Zach, it's an even matchup, man. You got Aiden who's played well. Paul's been solid. Booker's been solid. It's an even matchup.
well,
It
we
does. It
look at
doesn't mean that doesn't mean that every players, the main characters, are going to fail. It doesn't mean that. This series has been coming down to possessions, and so tonight the Suns get it done.
okay. I, it will be. We will be in the house after the game, and we will see how everything plays out. I I on my end, if the Bucks let this opportunity slip away, shame on them because this is what they've been building up for to have a closeout game on their court, be it game 7 or whatever, closeout game on your court for the title. And this is your legacy, Giannis, where, as I said, win this and you're in the top 20 already all time, along with getting that finals MVP. So he's got to win the title and get finals MVP, which he should. So we will see. And for Chris Paul, if he does it, this will solidify him as a top tier point guard. It will be interesting to see how it plays out, Mr. 411.
Yeah, it will be, man. And it's to me, it's sad that one of them have to go because I really like the approach of both superstar players. They like in Chris Paul's case, he's been established for a long time, but he's had a great career, and Giannis is on the path of being one of the greats of all time, in my opinion, because of his two-way prowess.
Well, he's
And
going to. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, you good.
I was just going to say you guys were big on him staying in Milwaukee, and I thought, hey, you might want to try to go to the Lakers or whatever, play with Anthony Davis. If he gets this title, that takes him off the hook, and he doesn't end up being, say, like, and probably the best comparison would be Karl Malone in Utah all that time, because Karl Malone would be a big fish in a small pond. After a certain point, he probably developed to a degree like Giannis. So this would be good for Giannis. This would be good for the Bucks organization, and for all the people that hate guys teaming up. He's probably who you should be pulling for then, because he decided to stay in a small market and not go team up and not go chase the ring like somebody we're going to talk about possibly trying to do that in Portland. And that's a tease, as it's called.
Yeah, and that's coming up next week. Yes, sir. Oh, look at what Corey brought in. Just brought up a statement about Chris Paul. He was in COVID protocol, and he's saying maybe that has taken a little steam out of him. What you think about that, Zach?
I think that is a nice thing for Cal to throw out there as far as analysis. But last I checked, he played 3 or 4 games for the against the Clippers, and he had a great closeout game against the Clippers and had a great game 1 against the Bucks. I mean, COVID could have something to do with it. Drew Holiday could have a lot more to do with it. So if we putting that pie out there, COVID would be on the pie. Drew Holiday has a much bigger slice of that pie that is getting in Chris Paul's ass. And it just is what it is. Like, I heard injury excuses from some of the other analysis for, this is sad for Chris Paul. I think it was Stephen A. He's not going to say he's hurt. Just stop it. Because when he has a good game, I don't hear anybody say that Chris Paul is hurt or injured. But as soon as, and not just him, but guys in general, like when Curry would have bad games and he wasn't injured when he put up 30. It is what it is.
If you're on the floor, you playing, there's no excuses. If you're out there on the court, you're hurt. If you're injured, you're not in the game. So if you're in the game, you're not injured.
Because COVID didn't make him push Giannis when Giannis was up in the air. That was his mind that made him do that. COVID had nothing to do with that.
Well, the thing is, Zach, he 21-11. It's no need for the media to make excuses. Paul played well.
I didn't think he played bad. I thought both teams played well. For me, one just has Giannis. Giannis is, and it's funny now, but if in 10 years we're having this conversation and we may be talking about Giannis as another little tease for what we're doing about guys that can possibly move into that top 10 all time, Giannis may possibly get into that top 10 all time.
Okay, we shall see. He's definitely on track. One more bonus thing. Just came in. Okay, just came in. All right. All right. Who scores the most points tonight?
I would probably tell you Booker will have a good chance, but maybe Monty Williams is going to pull back on that solo Kobe Bryant act that they built up. Um, I'll be cute. I'm going to say Giannis gets a 40 piece tonight, and he announces to the world that he is one of the baddest players out there. So I'm going to give him a 40 piece something tonight. It probably doesn't make sense because you would think the Suns are going to adjust, but I'm just going to say whatever they adjust to, he's going to bust up them adjustments.
All right. That's who you have scoring the most points tonight. I'm going with Booker, and I'm going with Booker because he has the mid-range jumper, he has the three, and he has the point guard. So I'm thinking that Booker's going to be the leading scorer tonight.
May I say this? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to see what Corey had to say here. No one can say injured when I saw a man leg bent back and saw him and still destroyed the Suns. Good point. Well, I mean, Giannis look, if he's referring to Giannis,
yes,
that injury looked it looked season ending to me.
I mean, that's why I picked the Suns. Like, yeah. I would think everybody thought he was not going to play, and if he did play, he would not be effective. So he has gone above and beyond. But as someone that has experience with refereeing, can we say maybe the first 7 to 8 minutes of the game will let us know how things may possibly go depending on how the referees are calling the game, or would it take a little bit more for us to figure out what they're going to do? And I'm saying that as a old cornerback that, hey, they're letting you get your hands on the guy a little bit more today, or, breathing on the guy. They want to throw a flag or they want to do whatever. So will we know that from the refs that early, or will we not?
You know it right now. They're going to let them play tonight.
You believe that?
Oh, yes. They're going to let them play ball tonight.
Because if you're saying that means that should make the game a little bit more difficult for a Booker to go off in the mid-range, because Drew Holiday, like I just said, can get his hands on them more. I would figure if they're calling things tighter, that's going to help a Booker and Chris Paul get off.
They're going to let them play.
Okay.
This is a game 7 for one team and a game 6 for another. It's going to get, because it's going to be a very intense game too. So
I disagree with that. I think it's a game 7 for both teams. They better be looking at it that way. Like the Bucks better not be thinking we have 2 to win 1. They better be thinking we have 1 to win 1, because we don't want to go back to Phoenix.
Well, of course they don't want to go back, but it's not a bad thing to have that. Yep, and I'm sure they are, but it's not a bad thing to have an opportunity in case something does go awry. So they at least they earned that by winning Game 5. But yes, that mean they would have to win 2 games in Phoenix, and that's a tall task in itself. But yes,
exactly.
Yeah, but expect a physical game tonight. Expect a lot of bodies on the floor, a lot of intensity, because you have a team that's really literally have their back against the wall tonight, and so they're gonna play like that. They're gonna have the attitude and the intensity like that as well. So should be exciting, man.
Yes, it should. Now, I wore my Superman shirt in honor of Giannis. He will be the new NBA Superman, or the new Superman of the NBA after tonight.
Well, he might be, man. I think he already is. But hey,
he's got to get the hardware. If he doesn't get the championship, like he doesn't need the Finals MVP, but if he doesn't get the championship, then no. Like he needs to get criticized harshly if he doesn't win this, because as Cal just said, he's been out there playing. We ain't gonna use no injury excuse. The opportunity is right there for him.
That's
and
right.
As much as you need Middleton and all these other guys to play well, Giannis is the one that got the $240 million contract. He needs to make sure he's doing what he's supposed to do. Oh, and real quick, is Monty Williams still a great leader? Is Chris Paul still a great leader? Is Giannis not a great leader? Because I remember all of this other talk or whatever, that the narrative always seems to change when guys lose or guys win. So that's just me throwing that out there.
Yeah, when you turn your TV on, that's what you get.
Yep.
Because what? Who was Batman and Superman? Remember that one? Is that still?
Yes. Middleton is Batman or whatever. Giannis was Robin, and then all of a sudden Middleton had a good game, and he's Superman or something or Batman. Like everybody has roles.
Yeah.
Understand that roles.
Yeah. That's it. But we know who the.
He
But we
said
know.
Lobo.
But we know. But we know who drives the engine there, and that's Giannis. That's Giannis for the Bucks.
I'm surprised you know who Lobo is, Cal.
Yes, they both are. There you go. All right, man. Well, look, Zach, tonight post game show.
Yep.
Have your favorite beverage with you.
I may not because I'll be over my aunt and uncle. So we be trying to do it from there. No beverage over there.
Well, there's always water too. You can go to water.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, you didn't mean adult beverage. You just meant beverage in general.
Beverage of choice. How about that?
Gotcha.
That's tonight. That's tonight, 11:30, and we may have a champion tonight.
We will.
Corey, we appreciate you being on, man.
Yes, we do. You have a great day at work. Some of us are in between now where we gotta go ahead, get ready for work, and it's all right.
Yes, sir.
Early morning, late night today.
All right. Well, we thank you all for listening. He's Zach. I'm Mr. 411. We're the Sports Brothers, and we are out.
We're out.